podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
You know the saying.
Every day I'm hustling.
Stay hungry.
Every day I'm hustling.
Stay humble. I'm
BoxingVoice.com.
hungry. I'm humble in defeat, and I'm gonna remain humble in victory. This is it, right?
Saudi Beyonce Productions.
I just wanted to put on a great boxing masterclass and also show the sweet science of this lovely sport. Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
I'm prepared to the best of my capability, and I pray that I get the win. Look at it, like, I love Mike Tyson, how he came into the game on some different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? But it takes a crazy man to want to fight, you know what I mean, day in, day out. It's a hardcore sport, as you said, no silk shoes.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing boys.
Good morning, TBV. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Sunday morning afterthoughts. We just had some great heavyweight action, and I'm sure we're all waking up this fine Sunday morning. Bless the big man upstairs. And we've digested what it was that we were able to see, and we have to now move forward with the possibilities of what can be. Anthony Joshua, the heavyweight WBA, IBF, IBO, and WBO heavyweight champion, defended his title successfully last night versus Kubrat Pulev, stopping Kubrat in the 9th round. In what some are saying, Joshua showing that he's back to his old form because of the stoppage, when in fact, you know, it could be thought of that way because his last fight with Andy Ruiz was a 12-round decision, where the champion found a way to reclaim his status as the heavyweight king, defeating Andy Ruiz. And this fight, kind of what the doctor and the fight fans ordered, right? He got a knockout when some questioned whether he would be willing to get in there and go that deep, right? People thought he could have been tentative, maybe still seeing those ghosts that Teddy Atlas likes to talk about. So shout out to Joshua for defeating Kubrat Pulev, top 10 heavyweight on most people's rankings. You know, I think the only other person to beat Kubrat before Joshua has to be Vladimir Klitschko. And that was many, many years ago. I believe Pulev was on an 8-win fight streak at the time of Joshua stopping him. So shout out. Definitely a good win for Anthony Joshua, and it sets up the prospect of the Tyson Fury bout. Now, there's a lot in between this win and Fury and AJ stepping in the ring. What it does do is set up the possibility for the Tyson Fury fight in 2021. Now, what comes first is totally up to the powers that be, and obviously the litigations. The litigations are going to tell us truly what comes first, as Tyson Fury is in mediation with Deontay Wilder, where some sort of legal process was invoked to try and enforce that third fight. So maybe Joshua Fury cannot happen immediately, but definitely if they continue to win, it could be a combination of Joshua Fury or Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua in 2021. But there's so much red tape, and I think that the most troublesome part may be Alexander Usyk and his mandatory status. Usyk definitely not happy with Matchroom, according to a video that was transcribed. Now, I don't speak Ukrainian, so I don't know if it was if the captions were right, but everyone is talking about this video, and there's been no articles refuting anything that was said in that video. And he claimed all types of stuff. He claimed that there was padding missing from Chisora's gloves, that he was being under promoted, that the ring was different from the actual contracted ring. So why would he do AJ any favors and take step-aside money if he felt any of those, grievances, right? So Usyk could be the thorn in this fight that doesn't allow AJ to fight Wilder or Fury, depending on the winner, because, for those that think that, AJ and Fury can just run right into this, it's not necessarily true, right? Fury himself has his own issues. Both Fury and Joshua may want this fight. Eddie Hearn said he wants Fury to be Joshua's next fight. Fury came out yesterday, said he wants to be Joshua's next fight. But there are obstacles, including legal action that Wilder has brought to enforce that third fight. So until we get closure on that, I highly doubt that Fury can just do whatever it is that he wants. But, and I quote from Eddie Hearn, Matchroom promoter and CEO, who says, "Let's make the Tyson Fury fight straight away. It's the biggest fight in boxing," Hearn said. "Let's talk more action. It's about legacy, and we get it done." Fury himself obviously had something to say to AJ right after the win, and it went a little something like,
Well, there you go, everyone. Anthony Joshua just shit himself live on television. He got asked did he want the fight, and he went around the bushes and put his arse on the edge. I want the fight. I want the fight next. I'll knock him out inside 3 rounds. He's a big bum dosser. Can't wait to knock him.
So, this is all back and forth. Then Arum, after the fight, takes to his social media, and he says, and I quote, "It looks like the stage is set for the biggest heavyweight championship fight since Ali versus Frazier in 1971. When Tyson Fury meets Anthony Joshua for undisputed crown," Arum wrote, "we at Top Rank will start on Monday working to put together that fight." So, again, put it together. Does that mean next? Does that mean, sitting down with Eddie and coming to a plan for a possible fight after the third fight with Deontay Wilder? Feeling out Eddie and seeing what's his conversations been like with the WBO. Are they going to mandate Usyk to get his shot? A lot of red tape. I tell you what, if anybody can get it done, I believe that Eddie and Bob can get it done as long as Wilder's legal action is out the way, right? Because Bob has a really good relationship with the WBO, and then Eddie has a decent relationship because of Anthony Joshua. We all remember Alexander Povetkin being mandated magically during negotiations with Wilder and AJ. So, they both have good relationships, and I think they could get this over the hump as long as Wilder isn't a obstacle, which, according to ESPN and the most recent article written at the wee hours of this morning, he absolutely is, due to legal action and trying to enforce that third fight. So listen, it is Sunday here on the East Coast, over here in New Jersey. And if you're tuning in, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. And at least you're like, hey, look at Ness. You're working on a Sunday. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and show you my appreciation by hitting the thumbs up or, sharing the show on my social media, putting it on my Facebook or Instagram stories, letting the world know the phone number to call in case they want to voice their opinion. 1-425-569-5241. Press 1. One time, voice your opinion right here. Voice of the People hotline. You're right. It was Povetkin's mandatory. You're absolutely right about that. But we all know, man, he's got a good relationship. AJ's been holding those belts for so long that these relationships are formed. You know what I mean? Those mandatories that AJ makes, they set those sanctioning bodies up with a pretty penny. So they want to be a part of these fights, man. They don't want to necessarily be the one ruining these fights from happening, even though sometimes they do. Right now, it just depends what they believe Usyk brings to their organization. Who should they hold preference over? And I think it's AJ. He's been the longer champion. He's done the greater things with your belt, and giving it great glory and publicity. So definitely they need to be siding with AJ. And if he's looking to do anything, they need to be granting him the ability to do so, similar to WBC. So let that sink in. This is where you guys hate the WBC, but then you wish the WBO was like the WBC, right? Because I'm sure if we did a poll, there's more people that would prefer the WBO to allow undisputed, right? Hence, franchise champion. Allowing the champion to avoid the mandatory so that he could have the big fight. Not that I agree with franchise champion at all. We've seen how those titles were given to specific fighters and really mess things up. But in this particular instance, not that a franchise title would help, but definitely a sanctioning body stepping in and allowing the big fight to happen rather than the mandatory would help. But in other sanctioning bodies, that could be called franchise champion or super champion if you're in the WBA. Right? WBA doesn't have a mandatory for its super champion. Every now and then you may hear something like that, like they mandated Jezreel Corrales once upon a time. They mandated Gennady once upon a time to negotiate with Danny Jacobs, and they were attempting to mandate Anthony Joshua to negotiate with Luis Ortiz, but then he tests positive before that could actually happen. So yeah, man, it's a tricky situation, and it's gonna come down to the promoters and the facilitators and the negotiators, man. If they can give everybody what it is that they want, they'll probably get what they want. But that's gonna start with Deontay Wilder. I'm gonna stand firm there, especially since ESPN is reporting more and more that there has been legal action taken by Deontay Wilder, and he is trying to enforce that third fight. I'm gonna stand fast on that he is and may have a rematch until we get a solid article that says no, that says that's it, mediation happened, the judge ruled against Wilder, and Fury's at liberty to move forward. Until we get something solid like that, I just can't see Joshua and Fury going straight into each other. So many obstacles. Like I said, Alexander Usyk, Deontay Wilder, and Usyk can also go the legal route. Let's be real. He's waited. Not that I want. Again, Usyk, in my opinion, doesn't deserve the shot. So if anything, the WBO should really, really consider putting him in a final eliminator. Really taking a look at themselves and saying, did Chisora deserve to be in that position? He should probably be a mandatory. I mean, Chisora should not have been. He was kind of like a voluntary. It wasn't like an eliminator. There's really no one legit that this guy was in an eliminator with. He just was granted that status, and we get it. You know, it was done to Billy Joe. It was done to Canelo, and it was done obviously now for Alexander Usyk. But bro, it's the heavyweight division, man. Like Billy Joe and Canelo, with what they did at the divisions below, you knew that they could contend in a division above. When we're talking about the unlimited weight division, it just isn't the same. But Duminada, what up? Your mic is off. Call your mic is off.
What up, man? Doing the morning afterthoughts I see.
I don't know if you're connected all the way there.
Call me up.
Okay. Maybe it needed some time.
Needed some time to activate. Dumatron activated. No, listen, man. Last night was telling. It was telling.
Telling in what way?
I mean, it gave me a position on where to stand with AJ. I mean, it's pretty hard to talk with this feedback, but when it leaves, it's so good. Look, I mean, what did you think? A lot of people were saying that Anthony Joshua was, not his usual self, and then he does the damn business, and then he's himself.
I mean, I think that it wasn't a matter of him not being himself or not. I think this is just a new version of him. You know, this is just him. Implementing a little bit more boxing into his game. What I would like to see, obviously, is more of the jab. I think he could have made this a lot easier with the jab, but yeah.
I mean, in setting up a prospect fight of Tyson Fury, it sets a prospect of Tyson Fury bout. What did Tyson Fury say immediately after the fight? That he could take him out. That he's a big bum dosser, and I mean, I don't know if he just did that because he also believes it, but also because he's already starting to try to rile up the people to see who they want to see better, right? Do they want to see him fight Tyson Fury or do they want Tyson Fury to fight Wilder? I mean, if he doesn't pick Tyson Fury, who's he fighting next? I mean, there's a couple of heavyweights out there, man, right now. And it's just still in the air of what to do. But, I mean, as far as performance-wise, man, I got to give it to AJ. You hit it right on the nail when you said that. It's a new version of him. It's not the version that cowers away, that's on his back foot all the time. And it's not the version of him, having that air of invincibility and being the bully all the time. He knows now when to change levels when the time calls for it, man. And Kubrat Pulev is a rugged guy, man. A lot of punches to the back of the head, inside real dirty work. I mean, for the life of me, I don't know what the heck the referee was saying to them, because it kept happening. No points were taken away, I mean, it is a championship fight, so you don't want to do that. A point can cost you a fight. But it was some rough tactics going on in there, and AJ handled it. He handled it okay. He was able to give good inside work. He put the big man down, the Thrashian warrior. So and what did you think about Kubrat Pulev? Sitting out for so long, he didn't look gassed. He was in shape. I mean, it was a fun fight. It was a fun fight to watch. It just gives you a little insight of where AJ is. I like it. The new version. I like it.
I agree. Speaking of Pulev, when Chris Mannix put in captions, exception, meaning that the WBO should grant Anthony Joshua an exception to do undisputed. Paco Valcarcel Esquire came back and said, exception 1. Andy Ruiz rematch when AJ got pummeled. Exception 2, allow AJ to have his IBF mandatory instead of his WBO mandatory. And he left it there with the ellipsis, meaning like, you asking me to give him another one, or you saying that we gave him one, or are you insinuating that he needs to, that we didn't give him one? Because he's putting out the facts that the exception was Andy Ruiz rematch, and now Pulev. So it's time for them. My thing is, there still should be an exception granted for undisputed.
Man, look, if we get it, it'd be historic. I mean, I know that deep down inside, all these boxing fans.
Have you seen the tweet? I was screen sharing it so you could be,
Oh, okay.
Okay, no,
up to par. All right. Exception 1, Andy Ruiz rematch. 2, Pulev. Yeah. All right, I see. And then what does he mean by that exception? Andy Ruiz. I'm a little
like make an exception is what Chris Mannix is saying, and Paco is saying. Well, we did that because he lost to Ruiz, and we allowed him to have his rematch with Ruiz versus stripping him because he couldn't make his mandatory. And then he said exception number 2, we allowed him to first face his IBF mandatory versus taking on his WBO mandatory. So he's saying we gave him 2 exceptions. Now you want us to give him a 3rd? But I think he should, or like, we will be mad. First of all, out of all the major sanctioning bodies, the WBO is the last to get that recognition. They just started landing in the right place with the people. They don't want to be the major reason that the heavyweight undisputed match doesn't happen. You know, you already got only 2 promoters really fucking with them, and that's Bob Arum and Frank Warren. You know, everyone else deals with them occasionally when it suits them. But in terms of promoters aligned, what we can see from the naked eye, Warren and Bob, they are with the WBO.
Man, I mean, if you really look at it, I guess from a standpoint of business, they've been fair. That's twice. I mean, the third one.
Yeah, I mean, if this is true, and the rematch clause doesn't legally push it back, because again, we don't know the legal mumbo jumbo, the jargon between promoter, fighter contract, and sanctioning body, right? But I can see a contract from a sanctioning body saying, if you lose, that's not my problem. Your rematch clause doesn't push back my mandatory. But for Paco as a businessman, why is he disgruntled? He's getting his sanctioning fee every time he fights. He got it for the rematch, which was one of the biggest purses that AJ received. And he got it for the Pulev fight because it's not like you can defend the title without paying sanctioning fees. So what's he really hung up on?
Oh, I get you. So regardless of that, he still has the titles. He's still defending each one of those titles, so he has to pay sanctioning fees to each one of those belts. Damn, we're in education hour right now.
If that wasn't a negotiated, because, at this level, maybe AJ's like, look, dog, I'm only paying you $30,000-$40,000 per fight, not 3% of my purse, not 5% of my purse. So he every time AJ fights, he's getting that Corvette money. Like, fall back, yo. Fall back.
I mean, do they get... Let me understand this. So Paco is WBO Prez, right? And what I'm saying is that if I'm going to defend my belt, let's say I got to defend my WBO, right? Do the WBO sanctioning body, do they get more money because I'm defending that specific belt? Or as a champion, or do I go in there and I say I'm the champ, I'm defending all belts?
I don't know if they get any more money than whatever they've already negotiated or whatever percent they've negotiated, because only thing I can assume that they would get is like the control of the fight, right? Like when the WBC, when Wilder Fury are fighting for the WBC, it's the WBC ref and it's WBC approved judges. It's under the WBC sanction. So if they fought yesterday for the IBF mandatory, that fight was under the IBF sanction, not the WBO sanction. So I don't know what more percentage they would get if they were defending the WBO versus defending the IBF. But the thing is that the challenger gets to win them all anyway. So he also got to pay to fight for them belts. So, like, I just don't get these dudes. They making money regardless,
Yeah. I asked all that because you're right. Like, what is the, usually it's money that stops negotiations from going through. Usually everybody has to be happy. And if they're not losing
this
money,
is all
I mean,
negotiations, Alex. Because there's no way Paco could say that Usyk AJ is a bigger fight than AJ Wilder or AJ Fury. So all they got to do is be like, look, we're gonna give you a bigger percentage. Usually we give you 30,000 flat fee. We'll give you 2.5% of the purse bid, or of the purse, or of my purse rather.
And I would not, and I would be, and I totally understand Pac. You know, I know that he
he
wants
knows
his,
he holds it right now. He could fucking take it.
He could take it, and I'm pretty sure that AJ and their team would not be would not shun any negotiations on the number just because it's the third time. Hey, listen, talk the talk, Pac, man. You've been around for a while. You know exactly what's good for the sport. A freaking undisputed fight right now would be awesome. Everybody's been waiting for it. I mean, let's get it. Let's get it before it gets lost again. You know what I'm saying? You know, we had it before, and then Andy came in like a wrecking ball and just, shifted everything around. And Tyson Fury did his thing also. I can't say he didn't do his thing with Wilder. So it's like, let's get it now while we can, man. Let's get it now while we can.
Yeah, up to the powers that be, man. Up to the sanctioning bodies and the promoters. You got to negotiate. Ultimately, up to the fighter, because he's going to lose a bigger cut. The more he cuts the sanctioning body, more comes out of his, purse. But
so what are the roadblocks? So we could just I could have a grip. I know you got it already. What's the roadblocks to undisputed right now? We got Paco
the roadblock is definitely Alexander Usyk and the WBO, and then Deontay Wilder and his litigations
with Tyson Fury, right?
With Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury gives me this air of confidence that's almost like out of this world. Like he just believes that he's gonna do whatever he wants. Like he's like AJ. Like
but based off that fight last night, AJ's not on Tyson's level. It's just very, very,
styles do make fights, but I get it. Look, Tyson Fury's he's spilling confidence. You know what I mean? AJ isn't, ever since the Andy Ruiz fight and now even this fight. But I think people are always really tough on AJ, man. They're really, really tough on AJ. He took the guy out. A guy that's tough, rugged, Yeah, the guy hasn't fought in a while. Yeah, you might not consider him, one of the top guys. You look at his resume or whatnot. All of that given, like the guy.
Nah, he's a top guy, I think. I think he got to be considered a top guy, man. It would be unfair to say he's not.
Yeah, so it's like give AJ his credit. He took the guy out. He didn't go the distance. You said it yourself. It's a new version. I love it, man. I don't expect him to go in there and start throwing haymakers just to appease the crowd. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Kubrat Pulev can crack. Kubrat Pulev is rugged and rough. You got to be careful with guys like that. And he gave his action, man. I don't know, man. Look, this is my opinion, obviously, but I always thought that AJ and Tyson Fury would be a hell of a fight, and not only that AJ would win. And Styles
versus Fury?
Yeah, man.
You tripping.
And I know millions.
Bro, you
of people
tripping.
gonna say I'm
Listen. Fury got a way better jab, not only than AJ, but than anybody AJ's ever faced. And yesterday shows us that AJ, he could be what's that shit when you got the clock? Hypnotized.
The pendulum.
He could be hypnotized, man. Yo, Pulev was doing this. AJ start doing the whole waving my hands and.
You know what it was though, Ness? He almost gave us a glimpse of the fighter he was when he fought Dillian White. He was getting riled up. They were talking a lot of crap. Yo, I could probably. How many? I can't know exactly, but at least 3 or 4 times, bro. AJ was in his ear and the clinch talking to him.
Bro, he had zero resistance in this fight, man. I don't even think we should be talking about that because it's like it wasn't a real fight. Like Pulev, did he land punches? What to the body and to the head in the clinch illegally? Like, man, Pulev has zero offense. Like, he's a top 10 because the only dude that beat him is Vladimir Klitschko before AJ. But Pulev, come on, man. What did he do offensively? Besides,
Hey, listen, he was the king of feints last
That's
night.
That's it. Mad feints with his feet in his hands. He looked like he was fucking wash on, wash off, a bunch of glasses, like windows. Like he wasn't doing nothing.
He went Mr. Miyagi last night. But listen, the guy had some good feints. He look, obviously AJ respected his power, you know, because when he would do these little jittery feints, like he was just electrocuted, like he was just like and he would have that he would have AJ kind of like, you know, not flinching, but like, you know, moving and reacting to those feints. But I think he did too much of that, man. Too much feigning, man. You know, AJ was the bigger guy in this fight. And, you know, for the life of me, man, Pulev never engaged to stay on the inside and really stay there. You know, I think Pulev would have had more success. But kudos to AJ. Like I said, man, he kept him at the end of the jab. A lot of times he hit him to the body with the jabs. I mean, you saw, you got to see yesterday that he would switch gears whenever he saw that, you know, there was a situation where, you know, he didn't want to be involved in a clinch or he didn't want to engage, or maybe Pulev was throwing some haymakers. He would use that jab. So that jab is pretty good. He has 82-inch reach now. I don't know if Tyson Fury's arms are longer or not, but, you know, them two fighting stylistically, I just feel like AJ, first of all, is stronger than Wilder, you know. He's going to go in there, be the stronger man, and he has a hell of a good reach, and he can box. Not to say Wilder can't box, man. Wilder's a hell of a boxer, too. The only thing is we never got to see all that, you know? We got to see little glimpses of it. With AJ, we're seeing the evolution of AJ, and I like it. You know, I like it, and I think that with a Tyson Fury, a guy that doesn't have knockout power, you know? He doesn't have knockout power, one-punch knockout power. I see him doing very well against Tyson Fury. Right?
Neither does AJ. I mean,
yeah, no,
AJ's never one-punched anybody.
My belief is that AJ has more knockouts probably against formidable guys or knockdowns, and he hits harder. To me, right? That's just me. And honestly, you got guys like Wallen, and yeah, maybe he's in better shape now, Tyson. But like you guys got Wallen that cut him, that gave him rough and tough fights. Guys like Wallen, you know, and kudos to Wallen again, you know, because I thought that he was gonna do very good, and he did. And he's not stronger than AJ, and, you know, in a sense, maybe he's not as body beautiful, but
I don't know. You know, you keep saying stronger, but it's not a wrestling match. You know what I mean? Maybe you can calculate his strength in that way, in the weights that he presses and squats, but to discredit Wilder's power when he showed you that knockout after knockout, just knockout ratio.
I missed you.
In boxing, that is the definition of power. Is knockout. So to say that one man doesn't have any power when, you know, he's shown it's repeatedly,
strength.
You know, like I said, this isn't a wrestling match. So I don't know what you mean.
No, even if it's even if it's not, bro, you know that strength matters. So I don't know if you're just saying that just to kind of like, you know, throw me off, but like
no, what I'm saying is, how are you saying Wilder's not powerful when his knockout ratio indicates that, but then saying that AJ is stronger? What are we what are we using to gauge it is what I'm saying. If we're talking bench pressing and squatting, then yeah, but if we're talking boxing, Wilder's proven he's more powerful by ratio of knockout.
Okay, no, and look, I didn't say that he wasn't powerful. You did. What I said is that
no, you said
the stronger. Okay,
you used the word powerful, bro. I'm serious. It's all right. You probably forgot. I forget hella shit.
Yeah, no, we'll go back on the tape, but stronger is what I'm saying. Powerful, I already gave Deontay Wilder the credit. He has more power in the power punch, but as far as being physically stronger, is my belief that AJ is the stronger fighter. You are relating it to the power of his punches and how that translates into his strength.
Yeah, and
that's natural. That's natural.
And what I said was that it's not a wrestling match.
Exactly, and it's funny you say that because you as well as I know that we both know it's not a wrestling match, but that grappling is involved in boxing. In the clench, you're clenching. So when you're a stronger fighter, you could do things a lot better than the other fighter in the inside, and when you're doing things that are physically, involves physical strength. I'm not talking about the launching of that bomb.
My thing is this: all the clinching that AJ did yesterday, all the reaching in, he wouldn't do versus a Wilder or Fury because of the power. Because of the power.
I wouldn't know. I honestly wouldn't know, because if it was me and I was AJ, I'd try to smother Deontay Wilder's punches instead of staying at the end of those punches. But that's just me. And again, I'm not saying that Wilder's a weakling, man. I'm just saying that I feel like AJ is a stronger guy physically, and that's one of my opinions on why I think he would do better against Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury came in heavy as hell. I mean, who knows? He might just this is the new version of Tyson Fury, right? He might just say, "Hey, I'm gonna come in and batter these guys every damn time. I'm gonna come in big as heck, doing the same thing I did the second time with Wilder." And if he does do that, I give AJ a better chance in that, physically, because unless Wilder's able to come in, with more strength and more muscle, I guess, I'm not gonna say he's gonna gain fat to get stronger. He's gonna have trouble with guys like that, big, huge guys like Tyson Fury. Just too much.
You're saying Wilder's gonna have trouble?
Yeah, if he doesn't gain some physical strength. I mean, this guy was just like, handling him, and I'm, I gotta consider what he said, that he wasn't himself, that he felt weak and all that other stuff. But if they were to have that third match, man, like, I would like to see Wilder, a little bit stronger, him fighting on the inside a lot better and knowing how to do that. And who's to say that he can't be a stronger fighter physically? For the life of me, I can't say he looked like that in that second fight.
Yeah, I mean, I just think styles make fights, and that's what game plans are for. Fury doesn't need to go into the AJ fight and fight Wilder the way he fought. Fight AJ the way he fought Wilder. For Wilder, there's the element of one punch power. For AJ, that isn't there. He's proven that isn't there. Yes, he can knock you out and hurt you, but it's not there. I mean, he landed like a 5-punch combination, the uppercut being the most flush punch, and Pulev laughed. Maybe he laughed because it did hurt, like most announcers like to have us believe, that when you do make some sort of a face, it's only because it really affected you. That being said, Fury doesn't have to do that, though. He can box from the outside. He showed a wrinkle in his game in the second Wilder fight. That's a wrinkle that he doesn't ever have to use again. He can beat every heavyweight with the other style, just being on his toes and
so
out
he boxes
jabbing
his ears off.
My friend, Pulev didn't do anything. Just tell me one good thing. You on some coach shit. What did he do that was good? Like, what did he do that was good? Like, why? Everybody's like, oh, give AJ his credit. Okay, he got credit. He knocked him out. What more do you want me to say? Like, Pulev had zero offense.
I can't argue that. I'm not going to sit here and start saying, oh, Pulev did this and that. He didn't do much, but I can honestly say that, the guy wasn't no walkover. You had to be careful, The guy can still punch pretty hard, and he was rugged. He was very rugged on the inside, his back of the head shots, and I know you got to see those little sneaky rib shots that he was giving AJ while the referee was on the blind side.
Rabbit shots, back spine shots. My hand was dirty.
Yeah, he was dirty. So I could say that. I could say that he was rugged, but I really can't say that he went in there and he had mad skills. What I gotta just see it for what it is, man. AJ did the right things at the right times whenever he wanted to engage. I mean, I don't know about you, man, but that third round, I thought he was gonna finish him. I really thought he was gonna finish him, and then he didn't.
I mean, again, you talking all this power, but
yeah, strength.
All right. Well, why didn't show up when you got your man halfway out? I was doing a live fight chat, yelling for Pulev to clinch, and instead he had this dumbass high guard, allowing AJ to just shoot uppercuts. Not all of them landed. He wasn't accurate with those uppercuts, and that's why he didn't get him out of there. But Pulev,
that's where I give him credit.
Pulev didn't do anything.
That's where I got to give him credit.
To stop AJ's onslaught. AJ just didn't get him out of there that third round.
Nah, I got to give him credit for that then. All right, I'm going to give him credit for him holding his head for dear life. All right, Pulev held his head, and some of those shots didn't get in. So give him credit for covering up. I didn't like the way Pulev turned his back and ran. That's so dangerous, man. These guys are crazy.
That's another thing. The fight should have been stopped there. That's not a knockdown when you turn your back. That's supposed to be the fight
give
over.
up, right?
He literally turned his back and ran to the other corner. The fight should have been stopped. That's crazy, bro. That dude is I don't know. That was weird.
Kevin Hart.
Telling you, man, more than afterthoughts, man. You sit back and you just think of this fight, and you're like, what in the hell took place here? From AJ not being able to finish it in the third to them not giving him the stoppage for this guy turning his back. Or you're not supposed to turn your back. You know what I mean? So they could have gave him the early stoppage right there.
Man, listen, bro. When he turned his back, I was just like, "Yo, what's going on, ref?" Like, "Yo."
Couple times too in that round.
Like, yo, in the amateurs, you do that shit. Like, yo, you're done. Like,
that's what I'm telling you.
Like, yo, you don't want to fight? You're trying to run out of the ring? Like, that's what he was trying to do. He was just trying to get away. I mean, I don't know if we had any room for any of the other fights this morning. Obviously, there was a nice little card in the ESPN and a lot of other stuff, but I guess we'll take care of it probably on another show. But the Pulev undercard, what was the undercard? Was there anything noteworthy?
I mean, why are you bringing that up? You running out of things to say about the main event? What the fuck? You want to talk about that?
Nah, I was just wondering because I didn't.
You like the Coley? He looked good to you?
No, I didn't see the undercard. I didn't catch the undercard. No, sorry, I didn't. So that's why I was asking. I was like, did anything else happen on the undercard?
Coley and some guy we never heard of were fighting there. Coley got a stoppage.
Oh, okay, Coley. Yeah, that's right. I did see that one. Yo, what did Buck Coley fight?
I think he
Kuzman, right?
I think one of them tested positive or something. That shit ain't happening, right? I'm not even sure. That's how irrelevant that fight was. Like, it was actually more relevant Thursday on paper, but if it happened, something wasn't good because ain't nobody talking about it. I thought it didn't happen. I didn't get to see it. And the dude I wanted to watch, the welterweight, now I don't even know if I want to watch it. I hear he got a draw. The Albanian, what is it, Marku? Marku?
You talking about the Albanian bear?
Nah, man, not Rashad Mati.
Okay.
Nah, man, there's a new Albanian in town, man. What's up with you, bro? Where were you at Thursday?
Bro, they hit your desk first, man. You got to put me on. I gotta say though, at the end of the day, let's give AJ his credit, man. Let's not say that he didn't do the business. You know what I mean? There was a lot of talks, a lot of questions, hanging over his head. Is he the same guy? Is he scary now? I think those questions were answered.
Who got a draw? What is Brandon talking about, man? Coming out of nowhere, all in Cincinnati and shit. What are you talking about?
Oh, somebody got a drawski?
Oh, he talking about the Albanian.
Yeah.
He said it wasn't a draw. I mean,
it
must have been a draw, man. You can't be the house fighter. They just signed them. How they just sign you and you get a draw? Like, you ain't do too good. Couldn't have been no. He said the Albanian whooped dude ass. How you whoop dude ass and get a draw? That's strange. That's strange.
Yo, listen, again, man, the questions were answered in my book. I like what you said. It's a new version of AJ. He knows how to switch gears. I see him thinking a lot more. So I saw the killer instinct still there. He was really trying to finish him. I actually thought that he was gonna blow his load, man, and then Kubrat was gonna come on strong, but he I think it was towards the end of the round.
That's what I thought. When AJ couldn't get him out of there, so he showed good stamina. He talked about that in the post fight. The fight being rescheduled allowed him to work on his stamina, and that showed. Because even though we said he took a round or two off, I mean, he punched a lot in that round trying to get Pulev out of there. And then, he took that round off, but he didn't gas. I mean, he took that next round off, but he didn't gas. So he showed improvement in his tank for sure.
Now, in a fight with Usyk, is Usyk who's next for Usyk? It was supposed to be Anthony, right?
Yes.
And this is the exception we're talking about. No, right?
That is the exception that they want.
That they want.
They want him not to force the Alexander Usyk, so that could leave him open for the undisputed.
I think we're gonna get the exception, man. I really do. I mean, I don't think that Usyk would mind if he was guaranteed right next, right? But like if he gets
there's no guarantee in this, man, because look at what happened to him already, right? Like Andy had the rematch, so that right there just keeps pushing things back. That's why these dudes want their shot.
Now, does Usyk get paid for this stuff every time he gets an exception? Does he get paid monetarily enough for him to say, I'm all right, I'm all right?
I don't know if he get any money when it's a rematch and stuff like that, but like when you pay someone step aside because they refuse to step aside for their mandatory position, then you get paid. But like, sometimes if the sanctioning body grants the champion or former champion the rematch, you got to take that up with the sanctioning body.
I think this is gonna happen, bro. I don't see Usyk as being somebody that's gonna, sit there and make this difficult. I think you just got to give him some. You got to give him some that he could hold on to and say, all right, sort of like a promise or a negotiation, whereas he's more likely to have a guarantee somewhere along the line. I mean, even if this is allowed, right? Tyson Fury, boom, AJ, all of a sudden now. Let's just say AJ wins,
this is all they got to do is wait to the outcome of Wilder's mediation. If Wilder and Fury fight, handle your mandatory. Get Usyk out the way. It ain't like he's a hard fight. AJ should body him, man. It should be slightly. It probably goes more rounds than this fight because Usyk's gonna have a jab at least. Ain't he southpaw too?
Yeah, he's southpaw.
Yeah, he gonna have a jab, man. See, Pulev was just there doing nothing, window washing, man. That's it. So, Usyk gonna run around the ring, man.
Said he was Mr. Miyagi style.
Yeah.
Just shifting. I mean, I can't say much to that, to his position, whatever Pulev did yesterday. I mean, he didn't do too much, but I saw a lot of good stuff in Anthony, man. And again, it just excites me because there was an air of like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna react the same? Is he now a timid fighter? All that stuff was answered. These are the answers I needed in order for me to still be behind him in a war with Tyson Fury. Now against Wilder, Tyson Fury, AJ, all the heavyweights.
Michael Buffer got a super chat. Did you read that?
Nah, I didn't get to read it.
He said, bet you thought Deontay Wilder would beat Fury after Oda was wilding.
Yeah, a lot of people felt that way, but it was also the way Oda Wilder fought him, he fought him with pressure and he had success with some shots, and that cut is what really gave him, I think, more confidence too in the fight. Wilder, that once he saw that cut, he knew he had a chance to take him out with that cut. So he was fighting with desperation, with urgency. And yeah, we thought that seeing that, would give us a gauge, but obviously styles make fights and shit was totally different.
Yeah, man. That was a really bad ref in the AJ fight, man. He didn't have control of the fight. He was too small. They should really consider having a height and weight restriction for heavyweight fight referees. That guy could barely separate the two men, and he really ruined that. He should have gotten a stoppage in that round when he turned his back. I'm pretty sure that's part of the rules. And he just let Pulev continue. At least he gave him a knockdown for that. He counted him an 8 count for that.
He did. I mean, let me ask you this, bro. I mean, when it comes to these championship fights too, especially, right? Like, even he was a lot of rugged, tough stuff going on. How do you feel about points though being taken? And how how fast or how should they get a warning? I mean, there was a lot of rabbit punches, man, and at that weight class, it's very dangerous. Like, what do you do? I mean, as a ref, like I didn't want to be maybe because I'm a ref now. I didn't want to be so hard on him, but I just thought that he could have done more in making sure that they understood that he was the third man in the ring. Like Pulev he thought he was at the bar.
Take a point, man.
Oh, for a minute there, I was like, okay, they took this fight out the bar. They're in the alley next to the dumpster, and they don't give a shish kebab.
Super chat from Jordan James that says that Mayweather went to the UK to spar KSI. He was actually there to see Anthony Joshua, and he was one of the first to give.
Absolutely not.
He was one of the first to give
KSI.
He was one of the first to give Anthony Joshua credit for the win right after. Took pictures with the belt and everything, man.
Hey, yeah, what you think about that, champ? The heavyweight champ, stepped out the ring, said, "Hold up," walked down, dabbed up the legend, man. And it looks like they was talking. I don't know if they was talking after party or what.
Mm-hmm.
All I saw was Floyd Mayweather with like $5 million on his neck.
Hell yeah. Shout out to John in Michigan. He said Pulev just wanted to survive. That's really all he was there to do, man. This dude always gets himself in these big check positions, you know. First of all, you know, the WBO, if I were AJ, I'd drop their belt. I mean, Pulev got this position, right? And the biggest name since he lost to Vlad has been Derek Chisora. Maybe Huey Fury. You know, on his run back, he fought George Aries, and that's not the Dominican. This is some dude that we don't know. He fought Maurice Harris, someone we don't know. Chisora. Then he dug up Samuel Peters from the retirement home. Then he fought Kevin Johnson, who should be in a retirement home. Then he fought decent opposition in Huey Fury on late notice. Made Huey go all the way to Bulgaria. And, you know, Fury couldn't get a round if he paid for it. Then he fought Bagdon Dino and took longer than Big Baby. And then he fought Radell Booker coming out of jail for 10 years to get an Anthony Joshua fight. Like, it's just crazy the way the boxing and these rankings are, man. They need to go to one belt, one name, one contender so that it's easier because it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what Ryan was saying, man. Shout out to Jeff, man, for putting us on, Ryan Rizicki. Real quick, man, to all of those that are wondering what's going on the chat. Well, memberships are activated right now. If you're interested in joining one of the 3 tiers that the Boxing Voice memberships offer, if you're on the desktop, hit that join button and go ahead and just, you know, take a look at the 3 tiers and pick what's best for you. If not, if you are on your mobile device, which most of us are, please use your web browser. Go on Safari or whatever your browser is. Google YouTube. Go through YouTube on the web browser. Sign in. And you should have the join button visible for yourself. If not, you can go ahead and just right now as you watch the show, just hit that super chat button. And it could take you to where the join button is visible. If not, just use your web browser to go into YouTube, sign in, and you will be able to see the join button. I thank you very much. Back to the news.
The join button is usually right underneath the thumbs down button, so try not to hit it by accident.
Gah!
Yo,
Pulev in 3. Yo, when he almost knocked him out, I was like, yo, he was predicting the future. We just didn't know.
No, he was
said
predicting
Pulev would get knocked out in 3.
Yeah, he was predicting it backwards.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm gonna just I guess close my thoughts on this with this, man. AJ showed me that he is a new version. A version that I like, you know, a version that I see that is not timid or scared, but that is cautious and strategically engaging, you know. Whenever he felt like Pulev was doing too much roughhouse crazy shit, he made the adjustment. Whenever he had to throw some uppercuts on the inside, he made the adjustment, you know. I got to say, I'm excited to see him fight Tyson Fury or any of the other guys that we know are going to push him even harder. And as far as Kubrat, man, I mean, look, Faint City, you know, Faint City, back of the head.
He is a feint.
Yeah, call him feinty. I turned my back on you because you're wailing on me. He showed me a lot of stuff that I didn't need to see. But, you know, in the end, he's still a dangerous guy. This is the heavyweight division, so you can't take anybody lightly. And where does Pulev go from this? I have no clue.
Back of the bus, man. Back of the bus. I want to see him fight tough names like any of the new dudes, the Real Big Baby, Ajagba, Dubois, Babbitt. None of these old dudes that he's finding, you know what I'm saying? And just work his way back. Get a Dominic Brazil, you know, a Povetkin, a White, Joseph Parker, Junior 5, those type of names. But what up, Francis Doyen Francis?
What up, people? How y'all doing out there, man? Shout out to the man upstairs for another one, man. Amazing. You know what I'm saying? We talking AJ Pulev. You know what I'm saying? The morning after thoughts. A lot of thoughts to get off. A lot of fights that should be made. You know what I'm saying? For Pulev, I agree he has to go to the back of the line. You can kind of use Pulev now as a gatekeeper, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a Joe Joyce or Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, one of them younger name fighters coming up, them heavyweights. It'll be a good test because he's tough, he's rugged, he got them old school tactics, you know what I'm saying, that they're going to need for that experience to get into the big fights. I agree with y'all a lot on that one, man. That's a good one.
Champ. Yeah, man. AJ did the damn thing, bro. He you know, he knocked him out. He didn't go the 12 rounds. A lot of people probably wanted him to do it earlier, but you know, you can't do that when you got a guy that, you know, he's not easily knocked out, you know. It's not like he's been knocked out plenty of times.
Before we go to the phone lines, guys, I want to ask you, what do you want next for the heavyweight division?
The exception, man.
What fight? What fight you want? I want to hear the fight you want to see in 2021. Because it's December. It's over. It's over.
I want to see Wilder Fury 3. That's my pick.
Yeah. Look, man. I want to see. I want to see Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury AJ, man. I want to see Tyson Fury AJ. I feel like it's an easier fight to make right now with all this stuff going on with AJ and Tyson than it is Wilder with Tyson Fury. I think that fight is less likely to happen because of all the contention that's going on with you know, between the two camps. It looks like Tyson Fury and AJ, they're pretty much already like in agreement. You know, it's gonna happen if it's allowed to be happen. What fights do I want to see? I want to see all of them. I want to see all these guys fight each other, you know what I'm saying? But I'm being frank with myself now, you know, especially as a boxing fan nowadays, has been through a lot of fallouts in fights. I'm just going to go be frank, and I want to see whatever's likely more to happen. If Tyson Fury and Wilder happen and you know, AJ takes a back seat, I'm just as happy as can be also. The only thing is that we're not getting undisputed, and we'd have to wait for you know, whoever wins between Tyson and Wilder, and you know how that goes. So the quickest route to undisputed is that way. Regardless of who wins, man, I think they eventually have to see Wilder regardless. Unless, you know, Tyson Fury wants to say, hey, I won the titles from AJ, I'm retiring, I'm sailing off into the sunset, you know, then that's something else. Then it's like, oh, you got all the titles, you're undisputed, but you ain't defend them not one time. So, What up, Francis? You talking to me or you talking to the ghosts?
Nah, man. I don't want to interrupt you, so I put my shit on mute so I can get my shit out because it spews out sometimes. So that's why I put it on mute. You know what I'm saying?
Hit him with it.
What, Tyson?
Hadouken!
All right,
give me a second, guys.
No worries.
All right, let's open up these phone lines then and get to the people and see what they got to say real quick.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
If you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click that notification bell so you get notified every time we do go live. We're going to go out to New Jersey. What's going on? I mean,
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
Top of the morning, TBV, Famola. What's good, man?
What
up? I've been listening very closely, man, and here's what I want to clarify, Ness. You said something about, and I'm just speaking to what I know. The strength thing, boom. Remember we used to say back in the day, like, nigga, fuck a bench press. I don't bench press, man. I just hear me out now, right? Well, in this instance, you're talking about Anthony Joshua, all that bench pressing, if he has to have this 280-pound dude pushing and laying at him, I think that's when somebody that bench press is a little bit more inclined to be able to have a different kind of strength, a more purposeful strength. So, boom. Then you talk about the boxing ability, right? He might not give Fury the opportunity to clinch because, remember, the difference is he's going to be boxing. He's going to be on his toes. He's going to be doing a lot of different things. Now, as far as, whether it's a timid or strategic, I think it's more strategic. No excuses. The first fight back from COVID, he's in there against, somebody that's there to be hit. Walk reminds me, what's his dude name? He reminds me of Walk, but he also reminds me like a... Cut it.
And speaking of Walk was doing his thing last night. The coach that nobody wanted to count on.
Let me go to 904 Geo. What up? You just gotta talk, Geo. What up?
I'm just listening, man.
All right, we going out to Cincinnati. Brandon, what up?
Hey, whole nother time zone. Jumped up from back with our mind on. Can't play when you here, get your life stole. If you bring it here, then the price grow. From jabbing and punching the line long. I drop a pitch and let 9 go. We slap with the thick glass and white go. This only happens in Ohio.
Yo, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I told you, change to South Beach. It's Brandon from South Beach for this week, man. So, yeah. Shout out to Ohio, though. I think this is the new style we're going to see from AJ. He showed, a bit of versatility. He boxed when he needed to box. He brawled when he needed to brawl. I mean, yeah, he got the, 2 knockdowns in the third, but he needed to tenderize the meat a little more, man. He wasn't, ready to go out in the third, so he tenderized the meat a little more and got him out of there in the ninth. We seen what happened to Verdejo, got 2 early knockdowns and ended up coming back to lose because he tried to finish his breakfast a little too early. So, no, AJ looked good in my opinion, man. As far as what's next, I mean, I won't undispute it. I mean, I understand, contract-wise, Wilder had an obligation for a third fight, so I can respect that. But let's be real, man. He's had 19 rounds with Fury, and in 19 rounds, he's probably won 5 rounds on my book. So do we really need to see that shit again? I mean, he's been outboxed.
Cut it. Dennis, Tampa.
Look, the fire's coming. Are you ready for the fire? We're firemen. We are firemen.
BoxingVoice.com.
Hey, good morning, everybody. If they pushed this Usyk fight in WBO and they gave him 3 opportunities or whatever, bro, that's gonna be a hug fest, purple light hugging snore fest, because Usyk is gonna get hit and not want to stay hit. Look what happened with Chisora. Anyway, bro, I keep getting my heart broken with people like boxers like Verdero. I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm losing my voice. I'm gonna have to surrender to the fact that I'm gonna jump on the Berlanga. and rep that flag for a while, man. 'Cause this shit hurts to see that shit, bro. I get so emotionally involved with this shit, and I don't know. I rep the flag, call me guilty. But at the end of the day, bro, I love the chat and what we've been doing. I don't like the YouTube, now you go to the money thing. I'm $10 a month, but I can't chat with you guys on YouTube. I like it all, so I like to chat in both arenas. I don't know how I can fix that. Maybe you could teach me that later. But at the end of the day, I appreciate the fellowship and what we do here. Ness, I appreciate your grind and waking up early and being here for us. Genuinely, all right? Y'all have a blessed day, man. Have a good day. I'll be listening. Out.
It was a little sad.
He on the Berlanga bandwagon, huh?
Nah, it was a little sad, champ. Yeah. Yesterday, seeing Verdejo like that, man. I really thought he was gonna do it when he caught Nakatani with that Superman right hand, and then just to lose it one round before the last, it was just like, damn, man. He changed so many things. I get you, Dennis, man. I know how it is, man. Especially when you seeing one of your own countrymen, and you know that he's a good fighter. And then that just happens, bro. But you gotta understand Nakatani is a guy that can take punches, man. He could take a punch. Ismail Salah's knew him since he was a kid, and he knows that kid can take punches. I already knew he was gonna be able to survive. It's just gonna be a matter of Verdejo just keeping that all the way through, man. And he wasn't, man. Nakatani landed some hard ass shots, dog. Had him sad.
That's for tonight, but all right. Mad Bent 100.
What up? Good morning. Thank you for waking up this morning, having a show. I'm going to save some of that other comments for later tonight. As far as what I want to see in 2021, I want to see Wilder come back against somebody. I would like Fury, but somebody. I want to see more Jarrett Anderson. I want to see Usyk versus Juggy. And I want to see more of Chris Colbert, but we talk about it tonight. Yeah, that's my call. Thank you for the show.
Cheer. Want that?
Yo, he said I can't do this. I'm gonna switch from Verdejo to Berlanga. I'm like, bro, they both Puerto Rican. What are you talking about?
That's what he said. The bandwagon.
He said I'm gonna rep that flag. He said I'm gonna rep that flag. I'm like, they both have the same flag.
I thought he meant like, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna go on you train.
Hey, Alex, that's why I said he jumped off one bandwagon onto the next one.
Yo, but honestly speaking, he tripping.
It's the same flag, but it's just two different cars. He jumped out of one car to the other one.
Honestly, he tripping. Still being on that Verdejo bandwagon, bro. My man showed so many years ago that he can't get over that mid-level hump. Like, he can't be in an A-level fight. He can't never make it there. He can never. No matter how many times he get talked about being in a championship level fight, the dude right before that fight always puts the hands on him. Always. Juan in the BX, you talking?
Is that Juan in the BX?
Give him a minute. Give him a second or two. Maybe he come in. Maybe. No. Going once.
That pot of coffee ain't ready this morning.
Going twice.
So.
Hey, what happened?
Hey, yo, Ness, while we waiting for Juan to show up, I want to ask you and Alex a question. Is this the second fight that Elvis Rodriguez was pulled out of? So I think his opponent had COVID the last time, and he had it this time?
Yeah. Definitely he had it this time. I can't remember about last time.
Or am I mixing up him and Michelle Rodriguez? I might be.
I don't know.
Might be, yeah.
I didn't even know what. So he was supposed to fight last
on
night?
the last time Berlanga fought. The last time I think he was supposed to be on that card as well.
Oh, okay.
But I think his opponent had COVID, so they had to pull out like a last minute switch, and then they put him back on this card. But I might be mistaking him with Michelle Rodriguez. How do you say his name?
Elvis Rodriguez.
Rodriguez and Michelle. What is it? Damn, what's his name? I can't remember. I'll find it in 1 second.
I know you're talking about the other Dominican fighter, right?
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
I
What's
think
his
it was
name?
Martinez or
Anyways,
Michelle
whatever.
something.
Let's move on. Who's next?
When you
Who's
see old
next?
dirty bastard fall in a position like that, then you know that I'm getting ready to bust your.
Morning. Yo, man. Leaving New Mexico. Morning. Leaving New Mexico. Snowed out here and all that. Got snow on the truck, snow on the ground and all that. Listen, man. I missed the Chris Colbert. I saw the AJ jump off. I'm not impressed with AJ, man. He ain't nice like that, man. I'm not even impressed with him, dog. Oh shit, I'm rolling back. Oh shit, hold on. Whoa, let's go, truck. Come on, truck. Here we go. Damn, come on. Yo, come back to me, man. I'm having.
LV Slugger, talk to me.
Champ.
Hey, fellas, what up?
What up?
What up,
Yeah.
Champy?
What up? AJ, man, ain't going. He I feel like he doing better as far as getting better at boxing, adding more to his toolbox, man. You know, I can see it. He ain't just a robotic guy like we used to, man. I feel like he just getting better. But I don't really think he's ready for undisputed right now. I mean, they say it is, but I think that's got more to do with like the confidence. I don't know if he got the confidence to get in the ring with a Fury or Wilder right now, man. So I mean, hopefully we get undisputed next year, but I doubt it, man. I doubt it we get it next year. I believe he probably gonna go the usage route. Hopefully Wilder can knock out Fury and stop all this undisputed talk, cause all that ain't gonna change if Wilder knock out Fury. Yeah, man, we ain't talking about these weekend fights either. This is just the AJ, right?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I ain't talking. Y'all talking about weekend fights. This is just the AJ. So y'all gonna do weekend fights tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, that's my call though.
Yeah, guys, I was mixing up. I was mixing up Elvis Rodriguez and Michelle Rivera. That's who was supposed to fight on the last card, and he got swapped out. My apologies.
All right. Natural Wiz, Hamilton, Canada, what up?
Morning. Bless. I want to see Tyson, Joshua and Tyson. I want to see that. Sorry, Wilder, man. I just want to see a fight happen, man. Next 6 months, that's what they're talking. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. We boxed. You know, we can't be surprised. After that loss, we're going to take it like Lennox. We're going to be like Lennox. We're going to be fighting like Lennox. Fight with that jab. We're going to see the jab.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to you, son. Your Bluetooth is either low on battery or you got one that works underwater, and I'm impressed.
All
right. So, Boomerang.
Let's say the best got to fight the best. So I don't see how they skip to, you know, all the praise I heaped on AJ. What I'm saying is I don't see how they skip through this whole Wilder situation unless there's something arranged we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? You know, the whole thing about this exception. You know, they make it up as they go along. I think I've seen them give Martin Bacoli a WBC title last night, man. You can't talk about what they say, man. They make this shit up as they go along. But they're robbing us as fans if AJ gets Usyk or something like that, man. You know, he needs to just chill out and wait for Wilder Fury. They need to get that sorted out, and that's all I will accept. The same way I put the pressure on the welterweight division, I'm putting pressure on the heavyweight division. That's what's got to happen, yo. No subterfuge, no Kansas City shuffles, no sleight of hand, no fucking rabbit in the hats. We want the best to fight the best. That's my call.
Champ, the best fight the best.
Thank you for your call, man.
All right, well, that's everybody. So we're going to go ahead and sign off. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And catch us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. This was just a morning afterthought. And yeah, that's what we gave you, our morning afterthoughts. Nest GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel right here on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice. You could also join our channel memberships for exclusive and early release content, or join us on Patreon for even more exclusive content. Peace.
NEX UP Sports Talk. Thank you guys for another one, man. Thank you to the man upstairs, because without him, none of this would be possible. On the way out, AJ definitely knocks out Usyk under 5. That's my pick. Thank you to everybody. Nestor, Alex, thank you very much for another great show. Catch you on the next one, man. Peace. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on the way out, y'all.
Chip, yeah, those thumbs up buttons are looking kind of light right now. I need the TBV Army to hit me with a rifle salute and shoot that thumbs up button right there at the tip. Hit that. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button like my man Dorian said, and make sure you take a look at that bell. If it don't got the little shaky bakey, you ain't shaky baking with us in the morning or any other time. We're breaking news and bringing you the best and greatest in boxing news. And don't forget to hit that join button if you're interested in memberships. We have 3 tiers available: Prospect, Contender, and the Champ. Go check them out. Very clearly states what exactly each tier offers. Choose whatever's best for you. We appreciate the support. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the Boxing Voice. Out.
Late call.
There's nothing in the sponge for Izzy. He ain't got nothing in there. Where the team at? Oh, he got J-Mac giving excellent instructions over there to Keem the Dream.
Yo, good morning. Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Damn, sweating early in the morning, are you?
Keem.
Oh yeah,
Sunday
man. Got my
morning
run
run.
in.
Sunday morning
got my
run.
Sunday morning run. Got my jump rope in. Got to change the oil on the car and do some shit around the house. You know how that go. Man, I'm just jumping on, man. I talking morning after, right? AJ Pulev.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Hey, man, did y'all feel like AJ kind of look a little gun shy? Like he kind of carried Pulev for a little bit? You think he was trying to get some rounds, or that's his new way of kind of just fighting, being a little? He's still straightforward, still got the power, but he look a little cautious.
I just think it had to do with with all the punches he threw in that round. So like, he was boxing a certain way, then he seen his opening, he went for the kill, and he threw a lot of heavyweight punches. So he needed to take a couple, rounds and fight a different way for a little while till he got that energy back, and then he took his man out of there in the ninth. I think if we didn't see that third round and him get so explosive, we wouldn't have any, like, you wouldn't be able to say that, because it would have happened like in 4 or 5.
I think he just kind of was maintaining his gas tank a little bit.
Yeah, man.
I think he was boxing patiently.
You heard him in the post fight.
Yeah.
He also said like, "Oh, we got to work on my stamina since the fight had got postponed." So like, that's something he was proud of.
Yeah, it's been a little minute since he was in the ring too, so I get it. But yeah, that was the thing that was weird to me, man. It looked like he kind of let off the gas, and I don't know if he was trying to carry Pulev and get some rounds underneath his belt, or if that's the new AJ. He's a little more cautious, you know what I mean? He's a little more, he can still step on the gas, but he can throttle it back a little bit.
I would definitely.
So, I don't know. That was my takeaway from the fight.
I would say it's both, Keem.
That's all I got, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. I would say it's both, man. Just off the strength that you got knocked out. Like, you don't want that to happen, so you're gonna be cautious. You're gonna start to pick your shots. You're gonna think a little more than you did in the past. You don't want to commit the same mistake. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, man. But catch us at 7 p.m. Eastern. We are out. Till the next one. Peace.